being able to pick up people's senses, being able to pick up how people feel or what they're thinking, but it was just weird. I don't know. One time though, I did it with Christina after that experience. So that was kind of my senior year in high school. And I did it with Christina at her house. It was just her and I. And, like, it just bugged me out because she started showing me, and, like, I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna smoke that much. Like, I'm okay. And then she started showing me, like, Rob Zombie, like, doing Satanist stuff, like, on stage. Because her TV, you could go in and, like, get recorded stuff and play it. And then that kind of started bugging me out, so I just tried not to pay attention to it. And then she played the Slipknot song. I forget what one it is, but it's like one of this girl and she's in a field and she's like lying down. Do you know that one?
I never really listened to them.
And it's not like their normal like screaming. It's like a kind of like I don't know if it's acoustic, but it's a really calm like song, and it just freaked me out. I don't know.
There's symbology right there for you. The Eye of Horus on
Yeah,
Katy
that's what
Perry.
I've been. Every time I go to YouTube, I'm like,
And the Eye of Horus is actually the physical representation of the pineal gland.
Yeah.
It is the pineal gland. That's what it looks like, but it's the size of a grain of rice.
Yeah, if you get that book, it's right in there. Probably.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, when you cut it on whatever it's called. I thought I was spelling this wrong. Seriously. I don't know, but anyway, I just remember being downstairs after leaving because that song just made me freak out because the girl was lying down on this field. It was like their music video, and like she just randomly like is suspended, and then she's like floating around, and like the main like thing of the song is like, I won't let this build up inside of me, I won't let this build up inside of me, and then like everything in my presence, like everything that was going on in my life was almost like, it was like how you said people when they have bad trips, like if they're a bad person or if they're experiencing something and they've done something bad, everything that like I've done to other people that might have hurt them was like in my face.
Oh, really?
And then it was like, wow, I'm not that good of a person. And then it was almost like I had to have myself forgive myself and say, okay, we have to forgive ourselves for being this way and we have to change it.
That's interesting that you felt that on pot.
Because that's why I don't.
It's really not a bad thing actually, because there's something I read not too long ago, and this gentleman was. Well, I didn't read the book itself. I mean to get the book. Hopefully, if I can find it somewhere online or something. But there's a book a gentleman wrote in the 50s called The Hash Eater, and I guess what this European guy did is we traveled to different parts like Turkey and India, and he would eat hash because, he knew from probably speaking with a shaman that when you ingest cannabinol, large amounts of it, it can actually have the same effect as LSD. And when I go back to the fact that it has 2 molecular receptors, that one receptor is obviously connected to your brain, to the cannabinol that you produce in your brain. But the other one is kind of a big question mark, because we don't know. But it's very possible with the heightened dosage of said cannabinol, that's where the question mark gets answered. So I don't really know for a fact, but that's quite amazing that you had such a realization on pot. Because when you smoke pot, you're not even accessing a large fraction of cannabinol at all. It's very small because you're destroying it by burning it. But the best way to do it is honestly to ingest it, in a sense, if you're making it edible or vaporizing it,
Yeah.
So it's kind of, that is very odd that you had that experience.
Thing, like, I don't know, and then I remember being downstairs at our house, and just, like, almost like not a hymn, but what's the yogi term when they're repeating something over and over? I forget the name for it, but it's something like when they repeat something over and over. Kind of like a hymn, but like, I don't know. I just remember saying like everything is love, everything is love, everything is love, and it was like almost I was in like this. I had to, like I felt like I was in hell. Like I felt like I realized that everything. Like, it's just weird. Like when you smoke marijuana, you realize everything's hell because you smoked it. Like I don't know. It's just a weird experience. But then it's like. Then you're able to come out of that hell though because you accept
Right.
things and you forgive yourself and then you're out.
Exactly. And that kind of goes back to, I mean, I'm sure you've heard it before, you can never help anyone until you help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And when someone says yourself, the self, up here, you know what I mean? What it really is, you, not this physical nature or this name that you're given or this number that you're given in society. It all has to do with the self, yourself.
Like I felt like I had to learn something, and I just maybe it was just I tripped out because to learn it. Like I can't even say I tripped out. I was just looking
No, I know it's profound. The experiences are profound.
It just changed me in a different way. That when I would do it with my sister, I never got to that. I never had that experience, so it was like, what is this? Isn't me getting high.
It's
this
just
is
that,
something else.
it's outlying factors.
Yeah.
Music, people, it's outlying factors that really control what is going, or the outcome, you know?
And then I remember I came back because, like, it was a long period of time, and Christina was just in her room, and then I would come back, and I'm just, like, bugging out. And then I remember I tried to, like, calm down and just not talk much. And then, like, this might have just been a delusion, which I still think it is to this day, but I just remember thinking, she was, like, sitting here, and I'm sitting here. And then I was like, well, what are you experiencing? And she's like, I feel great. She's like, I'm jumping on sunshine. Like, I'm awesome. I feel so good. Kind of how Christina acts. And then maybe it's just my own paranoia with Christina because she kind of puts on a mask for everyone. So that could have came out with me thinking this, but I don't know why I thought this. And then what I imagined was like Christina's here telling me she feels really awesome and great. And then like I'm here and I'm panicking and like feeling like I've been in hell, like
wondering why you don't feel as great.
Wondering why I don't feel as great. But then I made this like stupid like theory to justify why this is happening, and I said, well, Christina's really feeling how I feel, and then she's asking me how I feel, and then this like masked person in front of me is telling her, I feel great, I feel really good. You're the one that's bugging out, like, I feel awesome. And then Christina's feeling exactly how I feel, and she's in hell too. But then this, like, fake Christina is telling me that she feels really awesome and great. And then it's, like, almost like when you're with someone there, like, here's her feeling really awesome and great, and then here's me feeling like I'm in hell. And like, here's this fake me telling Christina, I feel really awesome and great. And then the real Christina is feeling like she's in hell. And this fake Christina is telling me that she feels awesome and great. Like, I don't know, it's just this weird delusion.
You obviously do. You just said you don't know, but you obviously do.
That's how it felt. And then not being on it anymore, I wonder why Christina does it all the time if she's in that, I don't feel really great. She might just feel really awesome and great, and it might just affect her differently, and that's just my own perception and delusion.
I think the first time you explained that was kind of a nail in the head situation.
Then why do you do it?
Excuse me?
Then why do you smoke weed?
I really don't smoke much anymore. After my profound experiences with these, I don't... Because, like I said, it makes you prioritize and deprioritize and organize. You understand... I mean, I do. Like, for example, I haven't smoked for a few days, you know, but I randomly will. I'll smoke a bowl or something.
Yeah.
To suffice. But I don't even know what I'm really sufficing because these feelings are so incredible and so profound and so significant that to think of what I'd feel if I smoked a bowl or two, it doesn't really do much because it's not significant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think as much as I do when I'm on pot. If anything, when I'm on pot, it's kind of like I'm because what pot does is it neutralizes brain cells. It doesn't kill them. It neutralizes them. Which is kind of a good thing because it's kind of like turning off a machine in order to then oil it. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to oil it while it's running.
Okay.
If you want to think about it like that. But it neutralizes brain cells. It stops them, gives them a little break, and then when you come out of it, you may feel a little bit regenerated, if you will, or you possibly feel as though you kind of overcame something a little bit, or you feel better because you've been comparing that maybe degraded point of perception, and now you're seeing things clearer, literally.
Okay. I don't know. Just affects.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It affects me really weird, so I just don't do it.
And with that alone, that's another thing that keeps people away from things like this, because they assume that like mushrooms are possibly more intense than what you would feel with
That's
weed.
what I think an assumption I have.
But it's not.
It's like different.
It's very different,
Yeah.
but it's not like you could say, oh, it's more intense. It's more significant. It's more clarifiable. It's more lucid. It's real. It's not fake.
And I felt a lot of fakeness, even smoking weed like with my sister. I felt this like aura of everything fake. Like I felt like I just was like so overwhelmed with how people were, like just like I just felt uncomfortable. Like people made me uncomfortable because I didn't trust them. Maybe that's just paranoia.
Okay. No, it's not paranoia. It's what you're picking up that is real. I mean, your perception is real. You know what I mean? Like what you feel for somebody is real to an extent because it's your opinion.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, you can't cast it out and always challenge what you're thinking. I mean, you should always challenge what you're thinking at first. But if you're possibly coming across the same answer over and over, that's probably the correct one.
I just remember one time we were smoking out of a bowl with my sister and her boyfriend at the time, my older sister, and I remember feeling pretty high, so I was like, I don't really want to smoke this anymore, and like I remember it came around to me again, so I just kind of like pretended, like I took a hit, and then like I passed it to my sister, and then her boyfriend was like, you didn't hit that, Julia, and I just remember like everything was just like I freaked out, like in my head though, and I was just like, yeah I did, and he's like, no you didn't, and I was like, crap, he was watching me, like why does he want me to get so high, like maybe I don't want to hit it, and I was like, no, I'm okay, I don't want it anymore, and he's like, well take another hit, and I said, no, like I don't feel like it right now, Mom and Tom are going to come home soon, I just don't want to hit this, okay, and like he made me feel so uncomfortable for not wanting to hit it. I don't know.
No, it happens. It does. It 100%. I mean, especially if you don't smoke a lot, you know what I mean? It's going to have profound effects on what you think.
Yeah.
But that's very interesting that you. It's just because like what you're telling me, I can 100% relate. But I'm relating it with psilocybin.
Yeah.
Which is, kind of brings me back to the whole thing where it's not ironic, these botanical drugs. I don't want to call them drugs, but these compounds, these botanical compounds, it's a given to you by nature.
Would you ever give them to someone without their awareness that they're going to take it?
I have actually. Not that I want to really admit that, but I actually,
Who?
my mom.
Your mom?
Mm-hmm. I put 2 caps in her tea, and then I filtered them out, and actually. My mom's a busybody. You know what I mean? Like she comes in from work, she cracks herself a fucking disgusting water beer, like Miller Lite, and then she'll just like go about the rest of her day doing laundry and making lunches the next day. You know what I mean? And just in kind of embodying her day with just busy shit. She doesn't look around at the bigger thing or the bigger pictures of anything. She limits herself very much. Like, for example, my mom's a very half-ass Catholic, or Christian, if you will. Like, for example, she doesn't go to church, but she will in order to suffice the feelings of her parents.
Yeah.
when they want to go to church. Like, oh, well, I'm going to church with my parents. But she doesn't do it every Sunday. She does it, like, on Easter,
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
She's very half-assed.